Welcome to Age Management MD. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. The attempt here is to help you understand what we're doing, what we're trying to do, and how we're trying to help you. I think the better you understand that, the better I can help you. So I appreciate your listening to this. Feel free to write down any questions that may come to mind, and we will address those when I see you individually. Age management medicine is a blend of looking at nutrition and exercise and total hormonal balance all together to create a better outcome, less disease. Bioidentical hormones, in a real short fashion, are their twins to what our bodies make. They're made in a lab, they're synthesized. Some people say, so synthetics are terrible, but all that matters is what is the result of the synthesis. And if it turns out to be atom for atom, a twin to what your body makes, then it's a good thing. And that's what a bioidentical hormone is. There's great anxiety about that, about the safety of all these hormones, because there have been some negative studies. What the media is not telling you, in the past 11 years, there have been some exceedingly positive studies that bioidentical hormones behave differently in the body, and they're doing some very good things. Well, the sex hormones are made in a gland, and they go through the bloodstream to our cells. You are made up of 50 trillion cells, give or take a trillion. And on the cell surfaces, we have all these receptors. You've got a receptor for insulin and cortisol and thyroid and estrogen and so forth. Somehow this hormone finds its receptor, and it is called docking. When it hooks up, it binds. When that happens, a message goes inside the cell. So a hormone may tell the cell to make a protein, make an enzyme, make an antibody, whatever the message is, different hormone, different message, but they are messengers. So they're very critical to allow our cells and organs to heal and stabilize and maintain and repair. So they're essential for the health of our bodies. It's really when the ovary quits. It's because the ovary is making estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and when it quits functioning, all those levels fall. And then you get all the symptoms that occur. And you also, within 2 years of menopause, women lose 90% of their hormones. So now you're really running low, and these messages are not happening, and that results in chaos. We call it disease. So to prevent disease, I think you have to have an adequate amount of hormones in your body. Andropause is similar, except it occurs to men. It's when the testicle slowly shuts down and testosterone is not being made, so that those levels become very insufficient. And again, the messaging is not occurring. The average American is consuming 162 pounds of sugar a year. That's a half a pound a day. And it's incredible. At the year 1800, the average American consumed 4 to 6 pounds a year. We have the same body, the same metabolism, the same equipment. We're supposed to process 160 pounds of sugar. It's just, you can't do it. So low glycemic means eating foods that turn into sugar less rapidly. Carbohydrates are anything that grow from the ground. So it's fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains. They're all carbs. And yet some of those will turn into sugar very rapidly, and some will turn into sugar very slowly. So the glycemic index tells us with a number, it's like a speedometer. How quickly is this turning into sugar? So you don't want to speed. You want the lower numbers, and then you'll have less sugar, because sugar is inflammatory. Inflammation leads to all kinds of chronic degenerative diseases. So low glycemic index is the short answer. The best exercise to do, and everybody always wants to know, what exercise should I do? It's the one that you will do. And that can be most anything. If you're not used to exercising, I think the goal is to start walking. Walk 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day. And when you accomplish that, I'm going to ask you to increase it to 15 or 20, and so forth. But you have to start somewhere. That's a goal. I really don't know. Nobody has been able to yet prove it, because nobody's done these age management things long enough yet. So I don't want to mislead people, but I think if you have a goal, like if you shoot for the stars and you only made it to the moon, well, that was a pretty good journey. And that may be where this goes to. We may be shooting for the stars, but I think whatever happens, it's going to be better than if you did nothing. Well, science is what we learn in med school. You know, it's physiology, anatomy, biochemistry, all that stuff, which is essential to know. But when you take it down to an individual, no two people are alike. And so they have different problems, different situations, different persuasions. And so then you use your intuition or the art to determine what direction do I come to the fork in the road, and which road am I going to take? That's the art. That's when it comes down to trying to do for the individual what may be best for that individual. And that's the tough part, and that's the fun part. So the uniqueness is simply that we're looking at the individual, we're looking at the factors that we think are going to build health. And so we're looking at, what doctor's looking at nutrition, or what doctor's talking exercise, and then the bioidentical hormones. Most of my OBGYN colleagues don't even understand it yet. So I guess I'm on the cutting edge. Some people call it the bloody edge of trying to pioneer something that I think is unique, different, and special. The testing that we do includes all of the hormones, of course, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, one called DHEA that people haven't heard much of. It comes from the adrenal. We look at vitamin D, B12, we look at cholesterols, we look at blood sugars in 3 different ways. We look at something called methylation, which is rather cutting edge as well. So we look at these factors that if we don't treat something that's out of kilter, will result in a decade or 2 in a disease. So we try to preempt that. It's prevention. You're going to feel marvelous. That's the goal. In fact, when people come back, I always ask them, how are you doing? And you usually get the glib answer, I'm great. But then I say, how are you really doing? And then you start getting into it. Did those symptoms go away? Did the pain go away? Did the swelling go away? Are you sleeping better? Do you have more energy? The expectation is you feel better. Some people like to come in and talk first. We can accomplish more if we do the blood tests first, because we can go through that at the same time. And with the blood tests, I also can start therapy. So if we talk first, then we're going to have to do the blood tests and do it again. But it really depends upon what each individual wants. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's helped you to understand what we're trying to accomplish and how it may help you. I firmly believe that the more you understand, the better we can do. So welcome to the club, and we'll see you shortly.